Let's rewind the clock to 1991 and discover the origins of one of the most influential operating systems ever created, Linux. Back then, personal computing was dominated by closed-source and expensive systems. These systems kept their code hidden, limited user freedom, and required users to pay for access. Users couldn't modify or truly control their computers, and innovation was restricted by corporate boundaries. In Helsinki, Finland, a young university student named Linus Torvalds set out to change that. Linus wasn't aiming for fame or fortune, he simply wanted an operating system he could freely explore and improve. He envisioned a system that was open, customizable, and accessible to anyone who wanted to learn or contribute. Inspired by Minix, but determined to go further, Linus began coding what would become the Linux kernel. He shared his project online, inviting anyone interested to join in, famously calling it just a hobby. At its core, Linux is a kernel, the essential component that manages hardware and enables software to run. This kernel is the brain of the system, providing stability, performance, and flexibility. Linus released his code as free and open source, inviting a global community to contribute, improve, and innovate. This open, collaborative approach was revolutionary, and it quickly attracted passionate developers worldwide. Programmers everywhere joined forces, adding features, fixing bugs, and making Linux stronger with every release. What began as a personal project rapidly evolved into a global movement, powered by community and shared vision. The Linux kernel became the foundation for countless operating systems, each tailored for different needs and users. Linux stands out for its freedom. Anyone can use, modify, and share it. No strings attached. Linux is not locked down or controlled by a single corporation. Its strength lies in its flexibility, security, and the power of a worldwide community working together. Linux is built on collaboration, not competition, on empowering users, not restricting them. This grassroots development model has led to rapid innovation and unmatched reliability. Over the years, Linux has grown into one of the most important software projects in history. Thousands of developers have contributed millions of lines of code, making Linux robust, secure, and adaptable. Linus Torvalds remains a guiding force, symbolizing the spirit of open source and community-driven progress. His simple idea for a free operating system sparked a revolution that changed technology forever. Today, Linux powers everything from smartphones to supercomputers, proving that open collaboration can surpass even the biggest tech giants, and that true innovation thrives in freedom. So what exactly is Linux and what makes it special? The first and most important feature is that it's open source. Think of it like a car where the manufacturer gives you the complete blueprints. You can see exactly how the engine works, you can modify it to make it faster, or you can even take those blueprints and build your own car from scratch. That's Linux. Its source code is freely available for anyone to view, audit, and change. This transparency is a huge deal because it fosters trust and innovation. It allows a global community of developers to constantly check for security flaws and add new features, making the system incredibly robust and adaptable. This open-source nature leads directly to another key feature: customization. Linux is not just one operating system, it's a kernel that serves as the foundation for hundreds of different versions, known as distributions or distros. Each distro packages the Linux kernel with its own set of software, tools, and a unique desktop environment. So, if you want something that looks and feels familiar, you can try Linux Mint. If you prefer a minimalist, highly efficient setup, you might go for Arch Linux. This choice and flexibility are unparalleled in the world of operating systems. Security is another area where Linux truly shines. Because the source code is open for everyone to inspect, security experts and developers worldwide are constantly looking for vulnerabilities. It's like having millions of security guards watching over your system. When a flaw is found, it's typically identified and patched very quickly by the community. Furthermore, the fundamental architecture of Linux, based on the Unix permission system, makes it inherently more secure. A user doesn't have system-wide permissions by default, which makes it much harder for viruses and malware to infect and damage the core parts of the operating system without explicit permission. Finally, there's stability and performance. Linux is famous for being rock solid. It's designed to run for long periods without crashing or needing a reboot, which is why it's the top choice for servers that power the internet. The system is also incredibly efficient. It can run smoothly on very old or low-powered hardware that would struggle with other modern operating systems. This efficiency means that on powerful hardware, Linux can dedicate more resources to running your applications, resulting in faster performance. Whether it's a supercomputer, a web server, or an old laptop you want to bring back to life, Linux offers a stable, efficient, and secure foundation. When you look at Linux on its own, you're looking at a philosophy built around freedom and flexibility. Linux stands apart because it isn't controlled by a single corporation. Instead, it's developed and maintained by a global community of contributors. While its desktop market share is small, Linux dominates in other areas like servers, supercomputers, and embedded systems. The biggest difference with Linux is choice. You choose your hardware, your software, and even what your desktop looks like. There are countless distributions, each tailored for different needs and preferences. This freedom, however, comes with a steeper learning curve. You might have to use the command line or troubleshoot hardware compatibility issues, which can be challenging for newcomers. Linux offers all the core functionalities you expect: web browsing, file management, app stores, internet connectivity, media playback, and productivity software. What sets Linux apart is its approach. It's a powerful, customizable toolkit for builders, tinkerers, and anyone who values control over their computing environment. Linux is a powerful tool, designed for users who prioritize freedom, customization, and community-driven development. The choice to use Linux really depends on what you value most in a computer. So, who actually uses Linux? Let's take a closer look. Linux users are a diverse bunch, but they often share a common trait: valuing control and performance over out-of-the-box simplicity. You'll find Linux on the computers of software developers, programmers, and system administrators who need its powerful command-line tools and development environment. Scientists and researchers use it to run complex simulations on supercomputers, nearly all of which run on Linux. It's also the backbone of the internet. The vast majority of web servers that host websites, including giants like Google and Facebook, run on Linux because of its stability and security. Even your Android phone is running a modified version of the Linux kernel. In conclusion, Linux isn't just for one type of user. It's the powerful, free, and open-source option for developers, tech enthusiasts, and anyone who wants to power a server or resurrect old hardware. The fact that a community-driven project like Linux can stand tall next to the biggest corporations on Earth is a testament to the power of open-source collaboration, and it continues to be a vital and influential force in technology today.